Just getting started. Got my eyes on the target. No, no. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. They say I'm dangerous 'cause I broke all their cages. No, I won't sit and take it. No, no. They left me for dead, I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn.
Line, go, go, go.
Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. They'll be calling me royalty.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted,
Welcome along, everyone, to the final round of the Odyssey season. Of course, we're coming at you live straight from a gloomy day in Britain for the Brands Hatch race, which is going to wrap up our season. Of course, both the Silver and the Pro Championships have been wrapped up. But that doesn't mean that any of these drivers will be backing out, as there are still fights for other positions such as P2 and P3. We have a Ferrari with a cartoon livery today as well. That's nice to see. Of course, I'm going to go through all the drivers and a little bit of a special thank you as we wrap up another very successful season of racing in ORL. Of course, Season 8 ending now. And everyone who's been here, I just have my thank yous to say. It's been absolutely amazing, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a sequence here. Just, displaying all of the cars that are here today. Nice brown livery right there. We have, of course, Nate Schreiber, Derek Anderson, your champion for Silver, Paul Mariage and the Red Bull, and Chris Rise rounding out the grid. Of course, I'm going to go through all the drivers and the names, don't worry. Anyways, that being said, here we are. Hello chat, I like the black and white pork. Hello Mr. Real High. I'm setting up my broadcast right now. Don't you worry. Alright, there we are. And no purples set yet, but Paul Mariage, really good qualifier all season round. Is actually on a good lap right now. So let's take a look at what he can produce in a V10 Audi. Of course, sounds amazing, that thing. Barreling down the track. Mariage taking everything there. Brands Hatch is a great track. Really hard on your left hand, this one. You're going to come out a little bit fatigued, especially if you're driving an endurance around here. Personal experience talking there. Anyways, you see Paul Mariage come out of the final corner and throw down the gauntlet, setting down a 1:23.8. Pretty good lap, pretty decent lap by Paul Mariage here. And no response from anyone yet, but I will see Dean Solomon has set a lap. Lazama as well, or yeah, that's Locklear now going by Lazama. That's going to be difficult for me to get used to. Locklear, your last season champion. Or Lazama, sorry, your last season champion. He was reigning champion until last week. Not anymore now that we've declared this man right. No, not this one. Sorry, that's not him. Where is he? I was looking for what's his name? I forgot. Who were I looking for? I was looking for Mr. What's his name again? Jesus, I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways. Oh, we have Lucia Tosi back on the grid today. Pade is here as well. Someone whose name I really struggle with saying. Mona is here. Adrian Martin in chat saying, let's go. Let's go indeed. We saw Bonnie Charles going by there, Luscombe in the purple BMW. Navarrete in the McLaren going by as well. 10 minutes left in qualifying. I don't think there's any rain expected. Bonnie Charles hasn't been able to. Oh, Luke Locklear, we missed this lap. But let's go on board of him since we were still early in the lap. And I'll give you guys a rundown of the lap, even though we're 2 corners late. So for this one, Ooh, Luke Locklear taking everything he can there, and remember the track limit is on the curbs, so you can absolutely push it. This corner in a lot of cars is a second gear corner. Mercedes sounded like third there. Really sounded like third, I'm not sure. But amazing exit by Luke Locklear. Yo Felipe, I got a race van and I would love to hang out and compensate with you. That sounds lovely to me, Nate. I'll definitely check with the staff if that. Oh, Luke Locklear getting held up there, or sorry, Lizama getting held up there by another Mercedes. I'll definitely check with the staff if that's cool with them for you to join. Give me a second. Compensate with you. Sorry, I read compensate. I've been talking to Richard. Sure, man. That sounds great to me. You know what? Get in here. It's the final race of the season. I'm sure no one is gonna yell at me for doing it. Just keep in mind to watch your language. Is it okay if I move you? It's up to me. Okay. Is it okay if I move you right now? Please tell me. Because if it's okay for me to move you, I'll do it right now. Yeah, okay, I'll pull you in. Alright, let's go. Oh, I forgot to join the VC myself. Hello, Nate?
Yo, yo!
Really glad to have you here. It sometimes gets really lonely in the commentating booth, so I'm glad I can have a little company.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Plus, I mean, I don't know, it just seems more fun when you've got, like, who was it, Luke?
Yeah,
Luke commentating with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems more fun.
Andres Murillo said in chat, Vamos Lucia. So we have a lot of Lucia Tosi fans tonight. And Dank Tank in chat saying, whoa, just woke up from a nap. My man Schreiber got banned.
Just for the race, unfortunately. See, the first race, I got like 4 penalty points because I wasn't used to lifting and coasting while behind a person.
Ah.
My first season in ACC coming from F1.
That's your first season in ACC?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all for a first season, honestly. As someone who's been following you closely.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it was decent, but
yeah, not bad at all. If you need anyone to practice with, I'm totally down. I'll be back on the track next season, which I'm excited for.
Oh, absolutely. And I work from home, so I'm like during the day free most of the times. You know, if you want to hit a practice session during the day, I can just work around that.
Sure, I'll text you. I'll keep in touch, definitely.
Hell yeah. All right, so to get in as a spectator, I need to enter a spectator password, don't I?
Yes, I'll DM it to you. Make sure I don't pull a Jimmy Broadbent here. I think that's it. Pretty sure. I've done a whole season of this. I should have had the gist of this by now, but you'd be surprised. Anyways, I kept Lucia Tosi on screen for quite a while. We're gonna take a look at Gobbler here, who is up on himself by quite a bit. So let's go on board of him. These 2 corners right here are a little bit of a make or break for your lap, because if you hesitate, you're gonna lose a lot of time. But if you come in too hot, then you can make a mistake and then you're in the grass and then your race is done. That's the difficult bit about Brands Hatch, is just finding that edge every lap and not overstepping it. It's definitely a more grassroots, quite literally grass racetrack. So that's a lot of the challenge of it, actually, as Gobbler goes across the line to put himself up into P5. So not a terrible lap by Gobbler here. And Schreiber, have you practiced for this track at all?
Yeah. I raced in the GT4 and the Porsche Cup. I was in the practice session earlier, just hanging out with the guys. It's a tough track because of the undulations. You know, you've got every turn is banking right, basically, or turning right but banking left, basically. So that left rear lights up really easily.
Yeah, and what about the difficulty with the blank corners? Can you give us a breakdown of that a little bit?
Yeah, it's like especially like you know the hairpin, and there's like a couple of them where you're going right hand and it's cresting over a hill. So I mean, really all you can do is memorize where to line up on the left hand side, and then what you should be looking at when you come over the crest. And if you get that right, you can get down on the throttle early. But it's very much like you say, blind and just, hey, I think I've got this right, hammer down.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the commentary of Nate Shriver. Once again, turn down Nate. He's very loud. You got it. I appreciate the feedback.
I'll bet. Yeah, I've been struggling with my mic, so yeah.
No, it's not your fault. It's because when you joined, I turned you right up.
Oh, okay.
It's not on you. Alright, there we go. That should be a little bit better. But, yeah, you guys give me the feedback if that's better. So, Nate, if you can just mic check.
Yo, mic check, mic check.
I feel like I turned you down a little bit too much now. I'm going to turn you up just a wee bit. There. Alright, that should be spot on. Anyways. No problem. Thank you for the feedback. We've seen Avaret actually take provisional pole. And Gobbler flew under the radar the whole season. He's bringing it on for Brands Hatch. As he's put himself into P2 so far. He's not up on himself, but he will have another lap in the McLaren. Great to see him out in front now. Looks like he really practiced for this one. And make sure, guys, this is where the season ends. So if you're looking to perhaps start a new adventure, start a new story, start a new Odyssey, if you will. See what I did there? Our registration for season 9 will be open soon. And I'm telling you, this is a great place to develop as a driver and learn. We've seen many histories over the course of the season unfold. Many drivers who won big, many drivers who lost out big. And one driver looking for his first time pretty much in the spotlight all season is Granite Gobbler. And the Sky Tempesta McLaren, of course, looking to improve on himself. And Chris Bart says Sue, and Pug Tail said, "What up, Sue, baby?"
What's up, Pug? How we doing? It's funny, I'm spectating Granite right now. He's he's putting up a good time.
Yeah. And as you guys can see, we have for those of you who have just joined, we have a special guest tonight, Nate Shriver, our rookie. Do you know if you're gonna be silver or pro next season? I guess you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I don't know yet. We'll see. Based on like some of the tracks, I've definitely been faster than some of the pro drivers, but then some of the tracks I've been in the back half of the AM drivers. So.
Right. It's like ebbs and flows, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's especially like coming from F1. Any F1 track, I definitely seem to be dominant at because I know it so well. But then tracks like Brands Hatch that F1 doesn't race at, I'm not as good at.
What did you do in F1, like league racing?
Yeah, I was in ORL its first couple seasons of F1 before they stopped doing it, and I was in the inaugural, I forget what it was called then, Full Throttle Racing, I want to say. But I was in the inaugural season of that in F1 as well before they changed their name and then eventually switched to just ACC.
Now you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, it's funny. ACC, I always, having just started F1, I thought, F1's going to be a better game. But no, after having switched to ACC, you 100% recognize the difference between full sim and simcade.
Yeah. I mean, that's one big like controversial subject, isn't it? Because you have a lot of people on one side being very passionate about ACC and claiming that F1 is bad and all of that, when it's just a different kind of game. It's like trying to compare, like, I don't know, like Arma 3 to Call of Duty. It's just a different thing.
Absolutely. But and at the same time, you feel for everyone who wants the, hey, we'll never afford a F1 or open wheel experience. We would love to be able to do this on our sims, but we just unfortunately don't have the opportunity because
Yeah.
EA.
I mean, true. That there's a lot of that. As this is pretty much the lap of the night for Silver right here because Rodriguez managed to get across the line on the final few seconds of qualifying, and now he's gonna get a shot at a lap here. He is barely up on himself now, with 10th down, but oh no, he hasn't managed to fly back on the exit. I don't think he'll be able to do much here on this lap, but who's trying to do something is Paul Mariage. He just overshoots the corner on his last run of qualifying this season. Paul Mariage has 2, maybe even 3 pole positions this season, and he just wasn't able to pull it together tonight. P6.
That's a bummer. That's a major bummer. We're used to seeing him at the top. Paul has, from what I've heard, limited experience as well. I think this is only maybe his 2nd season.
Yeah, he's definitely made himself known quick. But yeah, Paul Mariage, yeah, he's quite new from what I know as well. I'm not sure though. Quite new from what I know.
Rodriguez, though, looking like he might be safe in that silver spot. Rodriguez definitely has the pace in the silver. He's overtaken me quite a few times. I remember Kyalami, he got me on the penultimate turn coming to the last lap.
Yeah, he is quick. He is a quick man. We're going to go on a short intermission here. Of course, you guys are going to still hear us. But just while the grid is formed, and then once the grid is formed, Nate, do you want to run through the grid, or do you want me to do it?
You go through it, because I've definitely, all I'm viewing is this, all I have is spectator access.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not as, first of all, adversed with whatever software we're using, but I'm pretty sure there's an actual streaming software, right?
Yeah, there's a software. They'll hand it to you when you get your actual, once you get the keys, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to in the prospect of next season. I'm excited to get back on track, man.
I can imagine. You race in EU, right? You're the EU champ?
I don't know if anyone clenched the title, but last season I became champion, and we're currently, not to jinx ourselves, knock on wood, we're leading the endurance championship.
Awesome, that's great news. Yeah, it sounds like from what I've been talking to Richard, I'll be doing the EU next year, or next season.
You'll be like commentating it, right?
Yep.
I don't think I'll be doing EU though. I think
Okay.
I'll run only America. So if you drive in Americas, we'll be together there.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I was wondering about that because you're in Brazil, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
That being
thought it was
said,
strange
grid
for you
has
running
been
EU.
formed, so it's time for your grid rundown. Mona starting from the pits in P26. Can I get a different camera? Perhaps that works. Pare in P25, so I think he wasn't able to pull a lap together. I didn't really see him much. Conley in 24. Turek 23. Helgert's 22. 21. Luscombe. Toquini in P20. McGowan in P19, Chris Rise, number 21 Porsche, P18 John DeMarchi, 383 Mercedes in P17 Jensen, P16 Cormier, 15 Harknet, P14 Courtright in the Mercedes, number 96 P13 Nightshade in P12. Dean Solomon, shocking qualifying for him. I expected him, not in a bad way of course, but I expected him to be much higher on the grid. Yeah, P11 for Dean Solomon, sorry. Castells in P3 on silver, number 30 Mercedes. Derek Anderson, P2, your reigning, or your champion. He already clinched the title. Derek Anderson in P2 for silver. Bona Charles in P8. Lucia Tosi, P7. I think that's her best position the whole season, so great to see. Mariage in P6, Sloan P5, pretty good qualifying by Sloan. Rodriguez, amazing P4 and pole position in silver. Granite Gobbler in P3, Luke Lozama in P2, and Navarrete with the first pole position of the season for him, I'm pretty sure. Trying to send a strong message into next season on pole position. So, a bit different order from your usual packing order in the league, huh? Tonight.
Very much so. Interesting, very interesting grid. You know, just looking at it, you notice the pros and the silvers are very split. There, you know, you're wondering if, or at least I'm wondering if next season there may be some switching, some relegating, and some moving up based on times.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to think about. I didn't think about that. I think we're gonna see a little bit of that. I think we're gonna see some musical chairs, if you will, between, you know, silver and
20 seconds.
and pro, huh? Because some people like Rodriguez, I would immediately up tier him next season.
10 seconds.
No, absolutely. And there's, you know, there's like certain races have been pretty split where pros have been well above the AMs and stuff. It's been pretty much pros and then AMs, but then other tracks there's been AMs far out racing pros. So
Yeah. And chat, keep in mind this is not the fault of the staff in any way. This is just how things work. Some tracks, you know, some car and driver combo will be better than in other tracks. So it's just a natural thing about racing. But
absolutely.
nonetheless, an interesting thing to talk about. Though, as we were talking there, we have just started the formation lap for the last time. Chris Rise with useful info in chat saying Dean Solomon is a leading EU Pro driver currently, so I hope he manages to win that. And yeah, in the back row GT Racing team, great guy Dean Solomon. Anyways.
Whoa, that's an interesting fact. Fun fact to know too. I did not know Dean was racing in both divisions.
Yeah, there you go. It's
certainly makes him a man to watch.
Yeah, true. That is true.
As I believe on the, if you look at the overall times, I think EU is actually faster than our American league.
I'm not sure. I'm really unsure. Last season it was pretty neck and neck, from what I know.
That would be a fun race to do, even if it was a one-off. EU versus American, do like a Ryder Cup,
like a team race.
Racing. Yeah.
That would be sick, actually. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, like 20, 15 cars of each country racing, and it's overall.
That would be pretty cool, actually. That would be pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe the staff are listening. That being said, I'm gonna get some info on the championship because there was a battle, emphasis on was, a battle for P2 between Mariage and Turek, but Mariage had a shocker race last season, so, last race, so I don't know how that's looking for him. So while I look into that, would you mind, well, I'll take away the start since it's my last one. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I can, no problem. I can cover for you while you're looking up. Yeah,
No,
yeah, I do remember that though. It was close between the two, and then I believe Mariage fell off at the end of the race, didn't he?
Yeah, when the pit stops came into play.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, the double file procedures have begun, and we're about to go around the final corner, where the drivers are going to be told to maintain a speed of 70 kilometers an hour. For those of you who speak Freedom units, I'm sorry, I have no idea. But yeah, we see all of the drivers come around the final corner here, and any second now we're going to get green flagged to start round 9, the last race of the season of the Odyssey America's Championship. It has been real, and for the last time this season, green flag. Navaret has a decent start, but so does Lazama. As they're side by side heading into turn 1, Lazama tries to make a move work, but there's contact there. Navaret had to catch the car there. Lazama all over the back of him. Which way does he go, inside or outside? He goes for the inside, commits to the move. So Navaret's now forced a long way round. Lazama makes the move work. They give each other barely any room. Lazama goes on the grass. Absolutely nothing between these two, and that's what I'm telling you guys. Even though the championship has been clenched, doesn't mean they don't want to win the race. And Lazama, of course, looking to make a statement.
Ooh,
but
Gobbler says, "I'll take the inside line and join this party."
Makes the move work there. Another one. Does he lose another position here?
Rodriguez from the AM moving up to P3 potentially here. Definitely on the hunt.
Yeah, but he backed out at the last second there. I think he fought better of it not to fight the guy who just lost pole position and dropped all the way down to P3. And since there's no positions to be gained here for him, he fought better of it and definitely backed out. As we look a little bit down the grid, we see Dean Solomon all over the back of Lucia Tosi here. Perhaps looking for a move. Of course, the next best spot he's going to have to make that move work is turn 2, because no hard braking zones until then. And I'm just looking for fights up and down the grid. If you see anything, Nate, feel free to cut me off. No worries. As
No, it's tight racing right now. You can see in sectors 2 and 3 as the cars go through the braking and turning points we were talking about, where they've got 2 tires on the grass. Basically, they can't see the roundabout, and they're just, hey, this is where we need to be lined up and floor it.
yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself. You know, the drivers will be looking to take everything, and that's when a mistake comes into play. You know, just trying to take everything you can, and then you overstep it a little bit, and bam, you're in the grass. And if you crash here, you know, it's a blind corner, so a driver could be coming up the hill, and then bam, you get collected, and it's a big one. So that's one of the risks here of racing in Brands Hatch. And a lot of commentators actually refer to this track as if the British tried to build an oval.
Absolutely no, and fun fact, this is one of the older racetracks, like, of all. It dates all the way back to when they used to race on grass, and you can kind of get a feel for that just based on the track layout, that, hey, this was 100% track. Oh, as bonus! Takes a big spin there.
Ooh, looking for it. I have found it. But it looks like he's gonna join back safely, which is good to see. Whereas Richard says Murillo. So let's look for Richard. Richard Hartnett in P4. Or sorry, not P4. I'm tripping. Why did I say P4? P20.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's in 9th for silver. Usually he gets great starts, so something definitely happened to him. I remember last week, I think he was up into P1 after the start, and he started pretty far back.
Yeah, Richard has been doing pretty good this season in silver, so definitely a little bit of a shocking race for him. As Navarrete looking to run errands after that shocker start, just got absolutely filtered out, and that's what happens when you don't fire up your tires in time. But
Greg Gabler taking P2 overall.
His best position.
But it looks like Lizama is running away.
Yeah. Luke, I'll refer to him on a first name basis. Luke is a great buddy of mine. Of course, my teammate in the Odyssey Esports team. So him and I, we have a lot of friendship. And I know him quite well, and I was absolutely expecting him to be fast. But honestly, with that qualifying pace, I expected Navarrete to just, you know, give him a little bit more of a run for his money. Talk about run for his money. Navarrete looking for an opportunity to make the move work there. Couldn't see the window, but he tries to go for the inside on turn 1. They almost make contact there. Nothing between the two cars, but both of them give each other enough space.
Side by side still.
Side by side, still heading into turn 2, but then
Gabler having to back out.
He had to back out.
Maybe giving the position to Rodriguez. Oh, nope. Covers him off.
So interesting their decision, because as I've said many times throughout the season, you know, they're not in the same race here. So whatever works best for the two of them in terms of, you know, time loss, is the strategy they should choose.
And this is tight though, because right behind them you have Mariage, Sloan, Tosi, Solomon. No, I'm sorry, it stops off after Sloan, but there's quite a few of them right behind, just waiting for Navarrete to pick up the pace or make a mistake.
And he's going to be feeling the pressure there, definitely. He's going to look in his mirrors and he's going to see, oh my god, there's one too many cars there.
Yeah, there's 4 cars chasing him, all right behind each other.
So pressure is on. Also, if he wants to have a shot at winning this race, he needs to get on with it, and he needs to do it now. Mariage tried to have a look there. Didn't quite do it, but he definitely hopped on that side mirror and said, hello, I'm right here. As Playoff Alive said, Sunday we will see. We need a win, and Solomon for place to between P7 and P8, but the Audi isn't slow at Brands Hatch. Well, good luck for you, my friend. I hope you guys can have the best of fights. you're saying that, though, Nate?
Unfortunately I can't see the chat, but yeah, no, I mean, you see in McLaren's pull away, it's gonna come down to if Navarrete makes a mistake. Like, they're all just waiting on someone to make a mistake. It doesn't matter, honestly, Navarrete or who. There's gonna be a bunch of positions gained if one person makes a mistake. It's a close race right now, that's for sure.
That is true, and would you think that that's the name of the game? Just waiting for the mistake?
Oh, absolutely, especially on this track. This track where you've got the, particularly the left rear overheating big time. It's going to be whoever takes the corner clean time after time.
Oh yeah, and there's also the problem with pressure loss as well. If you take, if you hit the grass in the wrong way too many times with your tires, you're going to start getting pressure loss, and those tires are going to start taking damage, and you definitely don't want that in a 1 hour race.
Absolutely. Like, I do a lot of rally racing, dirt, WRC, and around this track I'm like, it's nice because I can catch the drift, but at the same time, you don't want to be having that drift at all.
That is true. As Lazama goes purple last lap, so pretty formidable pace. And my standings are bugging themselves right now. They should fix themselves eventually, but yeah.
Let's see, looking down the list, no one particularly extremely close except for Sloan. Oh, Sloan just bumped up 0.4 of a second. So really the only close competition we have right now is the 4 or 5 behind the leader.
As Gianni DeMarchi gets a 15-second time penalty, I don't know what for, but 15-second time penalty for Gianni DeMarchi. And I got the info I was looking for. The difference between Mariage and Turek right now is 12 points, correct, 12 points. So Mariage needs to outscore Turek by 12 points, and in case you're wondering if he has enough points to clinch P2 in the standings right now, your answer is, where is he? P5. No, P4. He's P4. P4 is 36. Where's Turek? P6, 7, 8, 9. He's P9. He's currently with enough points. So if the race ends like this, Mariage will reclaim second place in the championship. And that's the fight to watch out for tonight, pretty much.
And it's definitely a race to keep an eye on that too. I mean, if you look at just the leaderboard, looking at our skill deficit, there are 4 pros in the bottom 5. That shows you just how difficult this track is, and also how punishing a mistake on this track can be.
Exactly, because if you make a mistake, a misjudgment, go wide, there is no runoff. There's nothing. You just go in the grass and you go in the wall.
Yeah, you're immediately losing speed. If you hit the wall, you're taking damage. It's definitely a punishing track, punishing circuit.
Oh yeah, but that's what makes it really great. I love how on edge you are through these uphill corners. I'll put it on the passenger cam, and I don't know if it can convey just how much of a climb this corner is and how much on edge they are. But I'll tell you guys right now.
Where are you dropping on?
I'm on Rodriguez right now, just showing what it's like to be inside the car. And Pugtato said in chat, what happened to my boy, the German roll? Who's the German roll? Is he talking about you, Schreiber?
That's right. Maybe. I mean, my heritage is German. He could also be talking about the Rosso, but the Rosso hasn't been in this league, so I doubt he's talking about the Rosso.
Yeah, they're also.
Yeah, your boy got 3 or 4 penalty points in his first race because he wasn't used to driving behind people. So I have a race ban. And now it's funny because half our points will carry over to next season, so I basically start next season the same position I started this season in.
Oh,
thankfully, I'm more used to it, so the last like 3 races I haven't contracted any points or anything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll try to help you out if you want it.
Based on the improvements I've been, I expect to, if I'm in the Silver League, to be in contention for the title or at least podium.
So 100%
I would
confirmed.
be pissed if I'm not podium.
You drivers in silver, watch out. Schreiber is coming for you.
Oh yeah, I put in the hours every day. That's thanks to the work from home job.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. He's asking about Kaiser. I'm presuming Joe Kaiser. Rip Schreiber said Potato. But Joe Kaiser.
Kaiser doesn't look like he's in this week. Who else was I surprised to see? Ryu not in. Ryu's a pro driver, very fast.
Oh yeah, Ryu.
He ruined my Kyalami race, but you know, yeah, that happens to everyone. I don't know what happened prior to that. I didn't care enough to watch. I'm sure he spun out or something.
As we see Mr. Bonas going for the outside off McGowan and making the move work. Beautiful overtake there. I'm glad we got that one on camera.
Boney would be definitely one to watch for making moves, as he's in the back and usually in the top 4. So
true, that is true.
Keep an eye on him.
The African Stig, as he likes to call himself, and Mr. Mariage looking to claim that that championship, the vice championship, best he can, pushing real hard to try and catch Rodriguez, who is in silver, of course, but right in front of Rodriguez is this man right here, Granite Gobbler, and Mariage thinks he can put himself on the podium here, perhaps.
I know, these are the 4 that are fun to watch. I mean, since we've started, they've been right behind each other. Boom, 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 the entire race following the exact same line, each of them just waiting for the one in front to make a mistake.
And I think that's definitely going to be, you know, a game of who makes that mistake first. That's the name of the game right here. And it can be any time, you know, like there's so many opportunities to mess this lap up. It's not even funny. Turn 1, if you mess up your exit, mess up your entry, you know, you're done. Turn 3 as well, it's a tricky one right here if you mess up your exit. I mean, you're not going to crash, but it's going to cost you big. Turn 4 is a tricky one, but 5, 6, and 7 are where the big mistakes will happen.
So like you're saying, almost every turn is crucial. Turn 1 is so much time. A right-hander going downhill, undulating to the left. So much time can be made there, and that's basically the entire circuit layout. It's a right-hander undulating to the left.
Yeah.
So it's constantly managing tires and also managing corner exit. Because that's where the real time to be made is. Most of these corners have a decent straight after them.
True. So exit speed is really important. And this is, Brands Hatch is definitely a track of confidence. You know, you gotta trust the car. You gotta know what you're doing with it. Because...
As we're watching fucking Gobbler, oh sorry, pardon me.
No problem.
Gobbler taking out Luscombe, who is, I believe, at the back of the pack. So our leaders have now gone 1 lap ahead.
Yeah, there you go. And oh, mistake by Paul Mariage. As we just spoke about,
I was just about to say that's where it's gonna happen. Is people will make mistakes trying to get around him, and it's not his right. Like he doesn't have to get aside for them. It's on them to make the clean pass.
That is not what Mariage needed. Oh, Lucia Tosi as well. I saw her Porsche stopped there.
Oh no!
And now reversing on track or on the grass, trying to just, you know, resafe jointly here. And she managed to do so, which is good, but very unfortunate. Drive through for Mona. That's Mona in the Ferrari. We're showing really good pace, and everything absolutely unfolded here for Mariage. He needs to put a lot of cars between himself and Turek now, because as it stands, Turek will take the vice championship. And
now, what is the point differential Mariage shooting for?
12. And in the current position that Turek is, P1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
5,
he most
6,
definitely will not get that.
7. So P6 gets 28 points, P7 gets 24 points. He needs to get himself
So Turek will need to be up to like P4, P3, or I mean,
Mariage, yeah, Mariage needs a P4,
Yeah.
and Turek needs to remain P7. That's the
Ooh, as
conditions.
Turek moved up to P8.
So as it stands right here, Turek is vice champion. If the race ends right now, to enter a question Player for Life, that information will be posted soon, post season end. We will have a calendar reveal and a whole plan announced for a new season of exciting racing. Make sure you don't miss out. Of course, if you aren't signed up, I know you are, Playa, but if anyone in chat isn't signed up and is looking to, start a new journey, a new Odyssey Racing, all of our links are in the description below with all the information necessary. And I feel like the 40-minute mark is a good point to remind you guys that this race, the way it works, I know I say this every race, but I gotta say it every race. The way it works is that there is a mandated pit stop for only fuel. Now, unlike in F1, tires are not, one tire change is not obligated. Of course, you can take tires if you want, but that means your pit stop is going to last 30 seconds, and a fuel stop only takes 3 seconds. So if you take tires, you're losing 27 seconds. So you got to decide if that's going to be worth it for you or not. And I'm sure with enough experience this season, Mr. Nate can give us a little bit of insight on that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's going to be maybe a handful of tracks, like 3 throughout the season, where a tire change might be considerable, especially depending on how you're driving. But overall, you're just going to want to splash and dash, as we say, where you just pull into the pits, take your 1 liter of fuel, and call it good.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't have said that one better myself. And looks like Lazama has made some mistakes here, because Navarrete is now within a second of him. And Navarrete as well, setting the fastest lap of the race a few laps ago, and he is currently the fastest car on track, which to me indicates that he's saying, a little bit ago you took something that was mine, I'm here to get it back.
No, Lazama, absolutely. I think he went off a couple turns in a row, actually.
And that's proving to be truly costly to him now, because there is a McLaren 720S on his rear mirror.
And this is, especially in this particular game, where it doesn't matter what car you're driving. Like, yes, the McLaren straight line speed definitely has an advantage over everybody, but it's really just down to how great you are a driver. But to have a McLaren in your back mirrors, you're gonna have that in the back of your mind all the time. Like, hey, if I don't get this corner exit, he's gonna be gaining on me.
Yeah, especially with the characteristics of not just the McLaren, to be fair, that's any mid-engine car, of, being good at exits. The front-engine cars usually, not always, of course, usually are going to be weaker at exits than the mid-engine ones. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's funny.
Mistake there.
I
sorry.
selected the McLaren for my car, just because I'm a McLaren fan.
Right.
McLaren F1 fan, and lo and behold, I found out, oh, the McLaren's actually overpowered this season.
Yeah, but that's, of course, no merit taken away from any McLaren drivers, as, it's still someone behind the wheel of the car making it fast,
No, absolutely, and it's for those not spectating that aren't aware. The McLaren, it exceeds in high and medium speed corners, but in low speed corners,
yeah.
Yes, exactly. It leaves something to be desired 100%. So you have to make all your time up in the corners, especially, and like corner exit, especially in a McLaren where it has such great straight line speed, is huge.
That is true, as the gap has been diminished, only now down to 0.5 seconds, so half a second, as Lazama has a little bit of a rough exit there out of turn 3, and heading into turn 4. The gap is the smallest it's been, since he got overtaken. And yeah, Lazama struggling a little bit here. Navarrete is within slipstream range. In case you guys don't know, ACC's slipstream range is 7/10. So if you're within 7/10 of someone, you're going to be within slipstream range. And Luke just seems to be struggling on the tires here. Look at the difference in the grip.
I would be curious. Yes, that was my actual thought. Was I don't have the ability to see tire temps right now. I don't know if you can either. 'Cause
I
I'm not
can't,
familiar
no.
with the software, but I would be wondering Luke's tire temp versus Navarrette's, and wondering if he's just struggling a little bit.
Yeah, because weirdly enough, Luke looks fine on the straights. He's in the corners. You know, we were talking about the strength of the straight line speed of the McLaren, but Luke just pulled a 10th here on the straight. So, oh. No, sorry.
I would say definitely though the McLaren, if you're gonna put it at like it's the best at this, it's high speed corners. 100%. It has the best
Arrow, yeah. Murillo, to answer your question, the next season will happen this year. I am fairly certain. But with how little of the year is left, it should head into next year.
Yes, it sounds like we'll be expecting a two-week break.
Yeah, correct. Usually that's how it goes around Odyssey. It's a 2-week break and then straight to the next season. The staff here work real hard. That being said, 3/10 now the gap, and that's another thing to think about. You know, in that when that train was swarmed a little bit earlier in the race, we were talking about waiting for a mistake. What if the driver doesn't make a mistake? You know, I bet Navarrete will be asking that question.
We've got Mona making a move on Anderson right now, out of class.
Oh, let me see if I can find that.
Mona trying to make up spots. He definitely gets it done.
So quick move
Takes
there
Anderson
by Mona.
on the inside.
There you go. Made the move work. And let me ask you this, Nate. Where would you fancy a move if you absolutely had to make a move? Oh! But Lazama goes wide a little bit, but also a snap of oversteer by Navarrete, so it evened out there. The two of them made mistakes all at once.
On this track, this is a tough track to get a move to stick on. Like, typically, if you go to make a move, you're in it for 3 or 4 corners. Turn 1, definitely a good one. Obviously, a heavy braking point. You've got a lot of time to make up if you're late on the brakes there. And then after that, it's really turn 3 the straightaway, and then turn 4, 5, 6, 7 the straightaway after that.
Talk about 4, 5, 6, 7. We just saw Paul Mariage going down the inside on turn 3. And making the move work against Dean Solomon. So absolutely really good racecraft by the two of them for keeping it clean and making the move work. Now I'm choking.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you go to make a move on one turn, it's typically, like, unless something extreme is happening, it's going to last for several turns, which is, you know, it allows for great racing between drivers as long as they're leaving space, which thankfully we've had a ton of so far.
Yeah, really clean racing tonight. And we're having right now what I would like to call an F1 2021 style race, where we have the leaders screwing off in the distance, fighting themselves, and the rest of the grid. That's what's
absolutely
happening right now.
Absolutely, but at this level, you know, it is just as likely that the leaders go away as they get in an accident battling with each other, and everybody catches up, and it becomes a, you know, cluster muck.
A cluster muck, I like that. So let's ride on board here with Navarrete as he tries to chase down Lazama, but you can see just how fast the two of them are pacing. And Lazama, knowing him, he's definitely the kind of guy to work well under pressure. You saw him making mistakes in open air, and now that, you know, the heat is on and Navarrete is all over the back of him, you see him making less mistakes, and that's just the kind of guy that Locklear is, or sorry, Lazama is. You were saying?
And you can tell just by the way they're driving. As they watch, they make sure they don't go wide on the left turn. Like I forget what turns it was, but they went grass, and then kept it inside. They're certainly trying to, as Navarrete goes a little wide there, keep that left rear, as that's the one you want to prevent from lighting up.
Yeah, I think the left rear, if you're able to somehow magically manage the tire until the end of the race, it'll pay off big. As Tokinyi, I'm struggling with that name, goes for a little bit of a spin, and now is gonna soon be left by the leaders even. And
And
yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say it's crazy when you're talking about tire temp. 0.2 of a degree makes a huge difference.
Massive difference. As Turek gets the move done on Solomon, so Mariage managed to put Solomon between the two, and now that's irrelevant because Turek is right behind Mariage. So Vice Championship right now swung massively in the way of Mr. Turek, which if it stays like this, he will be Vice Champion. Derek,
absolutely. Mariage doing a great job of moving through the ranks, but Turek doing a better job of staying on his bumper and not letting him pull away, because that's all it takes is Mariage to get around someone. It takes Turek a couple laps to get around, and
exactly.
There goes the race.
That's gonna play out big. Talk about being right on the bumper. Navarrete, 3/10 behind Lozama. Is anything gonna happen ever? This feels like it's been going on for a while, and neither of them will let up. This will definitely be a matter of who makes a mistake first, like it's been before, because it's just a difficult track to pass in. That being said, Porsche number 514, Conley went for a spin there, managed to get out of the way safely, so that's good to see. And currently, Navarrete still pacing faster than Lozama.
Yep, talking about the battle for the lead, I think it's going to come to, like you say, who makes a mistake first, or it could even be who puts in a faster time when one of them pits.
That is true. The undercut here, or overcut for that matter, you know, I think if I'm Luke or Lozama, either of them, I'm doing the opposite strategy. So if one of them comes in, the other one stays out. That's what I would do.
Absolutely, and based on the times and the gaps we're seeing, it's really difficult to tell which one is actually faster. Whereas Navarrete seems to catch up at a couple places, but then Luke seems to pull away a couple other places.
That is true.
So it's very tough to see if one of them actually has the pace advantage over the other.
It's a little bit of a seesaw, and definitely once one of them triggers the pit stop, it's gonna start a little bit of what I call an invisible battle, because
go ahead.
Because they'll be fighting for position, but you don't see it. You know, it's a matter of looking at the numbers, and that's a really interesting part of racing as well, the chess bit, if you will. You were saying though?
Yeah, I was just gonna say actually, and unlike F1, it doesn't have that chess bit of ERS, DRS, and tires.
It's just raw pace.
Absolutely. It's just, can I manage my tires right now and then raw pace? Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to think about, oh, is he deploying battery? Do I have to deploy battery to counteract the DRS he gets?
Exactly. It's a different it's a different ball game entirely. As we saw a glimpse there of Lucy Tosi heading into the pits. Looks like a tire pit stop at the 30-minute mark, actually, so that's interesting to see. No, never mind. It's not a tire pit stop. It was a quick one. I think she was fixing damage.
Ooh! Someone just spun as we see the leaders go past them.
That's Nightshade in P25. Yeah, just went for a spin there in the Lamborghini. Luckily...
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, but luckily he didn't get in the way of the leaders. It is unfortunate for him on the final race of the season. But,
Nightshade had good pace. I believe he was, at least in practice, he was like P9.
Yeah, in qualifying he did well, I'm pretty certain. At least compared to his usual position.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's what absolutely what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This track, to go back to Toshi taking the tires, this is a track where tires may make a difference because, again, I mean, you can just take the pit stop to manage your tire temp. Coming into the pits will cool your tires down, but again, you're burning the back left. Like, a lot of these cars are probably drifting through most of these corners, if you make the stop to make the new tires, you might make up the time.
But Nate, I think she messed up. If you look, it says she hasn't done her pit stop. So I think she forgot to add the 1 liter of fuel.
The fuel.
So yeah, chat, you need to add 1 liter of fuel at your pit stop. That's one thing I forgot to mention. At least 1 liter for your stop to be considered, you know, legitimate.
The tires and the damage are optional. You don't have to repair damage if you don't think it's costing you too much time. You don't have to take tires if you don't think they're costing you too much time. But you do have to take at least a little bit extra fuel. So 1 liter minimum of fuel.
Exactly.
Now, and you'll get occasional drivers where on certain tracks they might think going half and half is faster, but I'm pretty sure if you Google this overall, it's splash and dash is the way to go if you can get it down.
Correct. That's definitely what I think myself. As we see the silver leader, Rodriguez, going in for a pit stop, and I think he has so much of a gap, he could genuinely afford tires right now. He could literally take tires and be fine. I don't think he will, but he could.
He has 1 lap on Castella, or Castel, so I believe you're 100. I think he can take tires and still have a 30-second gap.
Oh, definitely, because Castells just came into the pits behind him, and I think he is taking tires. Look at how long he's been stopped for. I don't know how long of a stop that was, but it felt pretty long to me. And
so it sounds like...
Sorry, go on.
Maybe Castells is trying to just play the, hey, Navarrete might make a mistake, and if I'm here, I can get him.
I can capitalize on it, yeah. Talk about making mistakes. I don't know if any mistakes have been made, but Navarrete, closest he's been to Lezama in the last like 5-6 laps. 2/10 right now the gap. As we head into the Helicam, and we see the gap between the two of them, and it's increasing on the straights. It's increasing on the straights. While ignoring the chat, said Abdul. I'm not ignoring the chat. Where's Abdul? You're right here in chat, Abdul.
It could come down to sheer setup, honestly. I've noticed a lot of times I use, like I use Coach Dave is the one I use, but just the pre-made setups in the McLaren in particular, I'll get dusted down the straight sometimes. And again, that's because the McLaren is so aero dependent. Like, you make so much time in those high to medium speed corners. But again, you have to know how to operate on that knife's edge.
And Abdul, what happened to Nate is that because of rookiness at the start of the season, he had 1 too many penalty points, so he got a race ban. And
exactly.
He has to commentate with me, and he was absolutely welcome to do it. Nate, I'm gonna go grab some ice cream from our throat. Would you mind taking over for a little bit here?
I got you. Absolutely,
I'll leave it on the lead battle.
All right, yeah, you do that. I'll commentate these guys. It's still pretty close. Navarrete staying right within him. I mean, if this was F1, he'd have DRS and it would be a whole nother battle. Unfortunately, this is GT3, so it's gonna come down to who makes the mistake, but you've also got the slower cars in front as the leaders come up on Harkennet. Oh! And there we go. Luke has gone into the pits, but Navarrete goes around, so we're gonna have to. This is gonna be a big decider here, folks. Is Navarrete actually faster, and has he been backing off because Luke is slower through the corners, or can Navarrete get on it and make up some time, maybe even make up the overtake? It's gonna be difficult because he's got Harkennet, a slower driver, behind him. So he needs to make this move quick, or Harkennet needs to get out of the way. But this is a tough track for that to happen on. And it looks like Harkennet breaks. Navarrete gets around. Gonna be curious to see how much time was there lost or gained compared to his previous lap, but unfortunately I don't have the ability to view that information. Take a look on Navarrete. I'm sorry. Lezama out of the pits into 7th. Into some traffic as well, as he's behind Solomon, who is a pro driver, although none of the pro drivers ahead of him have pitted. So technically they do need to get out of his way. It does not look like Mona is going to be doing that, though, but it is a difficult track. Again, there's only really a few points you can get out of the way and not sacrifice your time. And again, Mona probably knows that Jensen is right behind Lezama, and if he gives up too much time, he's going to give up 2 positions. And he doesn't want to do that. We'll have to wait and see what the stewards have to say. Maybe they message him, tell him to get out of the way. But as of right now, Lizama does have the right to the line. As we see more cars come in. As who is this? I want to say this is Luscombe, but I don't think it is. Who's the pink and blue? It's taking me a lot of clicks to find out who the pink and blue Porsche is. I don't even think it's a Porsche. I think it's BMW. I should pay attention to that. I think it's Luscombe. As we pan back to our leader, Lizama, it's definitely not Luscombe. Who is he behind? Courtright. It is Courtright who is in. He just had a spin. He's in 17th. He is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place for silver class and lets Lizama around. Is he gonna give it to Jensen? No, he doesn't. Now let's remember Jensen a lap behind. Lizama. Courtright has pitted. Jensen.
Oh, no. I lost connection.
Oh no, I'm holding him down. Don't worry.
Okay, keep commentating. I lost connection, chat. We'll be back shortly.
I can't find Jensen on the leaderboard, which means his name must be something else.
Show them what you got.
We're back. We are back. I realize you guys don't have imagery yet. Don't worry, there it is. Hit drive.
It looks like Turek fell way behind. Oh wait, no, Solomon. Turek overtook Solomon, but Turek has yet to pit. So, but he has an almost 19-second advantage right now.
Oh, I see. Lizama has pit. So now it's the battle's being fought on the lap times.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was commenting on. Is Lizama was clearing his way through the grid, so to speak, and that's what's it gonna come down to is when Navarrete pits, does he get clean air? Can he make quick lap times? As it looked like Lizama was stuck behind a couple slower racers.
Oh, that's gonna be very costly for him then, considering how close the battle was. This is where the two of them are gonna be cranking it up to 100. This is essentially an invisible battle. They're gonna be pacing real hard.
Absolutely. We won't get to see it till
the end.
Whenever Navarrete goes into pit.
Yeah.
Look how close it ends up.
It's going to be absolutely interesting to see, though, when it does happen. With that being said, Mona fighting for position with Tosi. And right behind that fight is Lizama. So he's going to be looking to clear that as soon as possible. And keep in mind, blue flags are not required to move out of the racing line or anything. They just gotta, be predictable and let the guy behind by in a safe manner.
Yes, exactly. And Lizama's been behind Mona for a couple laps now. So you got to be wondering, what is this doing to his race right now?
Well, massive harm is what it's doing, definitely. Problem is, I don't think Mona will be backing out because right now he's fully focused on the car in front, not the car behind. And Lizama will be seeing this. He's going to be going, oh no, no.
Absolutely. As Mona and Tosi are actually battling for position, so neither of them is going to want to give up. As Mona, it looks like maybe gaining the pace, go around the outside right here, but has to back out.
Tosi kicking out a little bit of a tail there. So that's going to give Mona a little bit of an opportunity, maybe to turn one. And Lizama behind, flashing like crazy. He's like, let me by, please. Let me by.
And this is that chess match aspect that will come into this play that F1 doesn't have, as they have the tires, they have the aero, and so what, but they don't have multiple classes racing that they have to think about getting around. Yes, they have slower cars they have to think about getting around, but typically by the time they have to pit, they're so far ahead of those slower cars that it doesn't even matter.
Exactly. And right now, if I'm Mr. Lozama, I'm thinking, wow, I messed up.
I'm thinking, man, if only I had a race engineer, I could make up so much time. That's what I'm thinking. Most races. Wow, what
Lozama
a
went
move.
for the move.
Toshi keeps it. Toshi almost loses it there.
Oh my lord. Alexi in chat saying, I hear my man commentating. Hell yeah.
Mona sticking on the bumper of Lozama too, which is great to see, as Lozama seems to have much more pace, but it could have just been a poor incident for Mona.
Yeah, I mean, Mona saw the opportunity there and just went for it. Absolutely sent it, and that was great to watch. We got every
Mona
bit of that.
did start from pits, I remember, because Mona didn't come in during the briefing.
Oh yeah, correct. That did happen, huh? And if you want to give a shout out to your girlfriend, I'm pretty sure she's in chat right now.
Baby Dings, love you, babe. How's it going?
Oh no!
Yep, here.
Oh no! Lucia Tosi spun, but managed to get out of harm's way, so no one got involved in the crash. Yoni the Archie coming up right now gets through to her safely, so everyone has been very safe.
Tosi there, that's painful.
That has been painful, yeah, because her pace has been very good. It's just the consistency that wasn't quite there, but her pace, wow.
Absolutely, and the only female in the league and in the pro division, nonetheless, to be. I mean, she was up in the top 5.
Yeah. P7 qualifying, P5 top 5 pace during a lot of the race, but I mean, Brands Hatch claims its victims, and looks like she was on, that end.
Yep, lady spectators, basically, babe, I'm talking to you. It's not just a male sport.
Yeah, like F1, we have more female drivers than F1.
And it's definitely one of those sports like in F1. I would love to see more female drivers getting involved and stuff.
Yeah, and I hope in a few years' time that F1 Academy, serves its purpose. But,
absolutely. I would be surprised to see there's not a female F1 league in a couple years' time.
Oh, yeah. That being said, Granite Gobbler almost losing the tail of his McLaren there. Sloan did his pit stop a few laps ago, and he's fighting for position of Paul Mariage, who's right up behind him. Justin Turek still hasn't pit, but Mariage looking to make the moves on track, all over the back of Sloan here, looking for an opportunity to get past. Of course, we've been talking about the straight line speed of the McLaren, but let's see what the straight line speed of the Audi is like. Now that Mariage is all over the back of Sloan here, does he have any opportunities? Gap only down to 3/10, but of course, he's in a difficult position because he's in a position where he has to attack and defend. You have Gobbler behind him, looking for an opportunity, and it's yellows for Lozama in Sector 2, just ahead of the fight we've been seeing actually. Made a mistake. Has managed to bring the car back, but that's going to be very costly in the quote-unquote invisible battle we've been fighting, and it looks like it just swung massively in the favor of Navarrete. Nate?
Yeah, no, that's going to be huge for Lozama there, and to touch back on the Sloan battle. I mean, Sloan has shown excellent pace, and he's definitely a track racer. He's shown excellent paces at some tracks, and then, certainly, I don't want to say terrible, but not the best pace at other tracks.
It's been ebbs and flows for him, definitely.
There's, I can think of several races where he's passed me and it looked like I'm in a GT4, and then other races where I passed him and it looks like he's in a GT4.
Yeah, I think that describes it pretty well, but Sloan, nonetheless, a very good driver. Not to dunk on him, of course, we have no beef against anyone.
No.
And
absolutely, I feel like he's got the potentiality like so many of our racers. It's just consistency is key in the league. You could be 2 seconds slower than someone per lap almost, but if that someone can only put that lap up one every 5 laps, then you'll probably overtake them in the race.
Fight. Yeah, at the very least a close fight. with that being said, Melissa Folks in chat saying, speak of wanting to see more women in F1. I was at COTA in the US Grand Prix last weekend and loved seeing F1 Academy. I bet. I was really delighted to see the race being live streamed. That was the first time, I'm pretty sure. And I hope it becomes a standard for the rest of, you know, I don't know if the F1 Academy still has any races left in their season, but would love to see every single race of the F1 Academy season being streamed. I think it absolutely deserves it because the racing is pretty damn good there, actually.
No, I 100% agree. Truthfully, what I would love to see is F1 Academy proves itself so much that, you know, racing, I feel racing is it's not like other sports where I don't want to sound misogynistic, but like men are stronger than women, so on average, you know, we're faster. Racing is not that thing. Racing is pure skill and basically mentalities. So I hope to see, like in NASCAR, you know, you see Danica Patrick. One day it's not a female F1 league. It's just there are female F1 drivers that are better than male F1 drivers.
And I mean, a thing about that is the Iron Lynx team, Iron Dames team in WEC. I mean, that's a full female team, and they're absolutely competent. You know, with many race wins under their belt. They were fighting for the podium this year in Le Mans. I don't know if you guys watched that before. They had terrible luck, but absolutely competent team there. Many races won across multiple categories, keep in mind. And also with drivers like Dorian Penn, I don't know if you know her, French driver currently in LMP2 in the WEC, driving for Prima. She absolutely dominated every single endurance race she touched. She's known as the endurance racing speedrunner. Because everything Dorian Penn touches, she seems to win in. It's insane.
No, it's definitely coming up in a lot of disciplines. I believe Extreme E actually has one driver has to be female.
Correct.
And the females are like just as fast as the men.
Matter of fact, Ken Block's daughter, Leah Block, is an Extreme E this season. Fun fact for you there.
R.I.P. Ken Block.
R.I.P. Earlier this year, I ran a tribute livery for him when I was a McLaren driver.
Yeah, those that haven't seen it, he did. I think it was his last video he did for Audi. They did Audi a drift car that was 100% electric, and it's amazing. I think he's drifting through Vegas. I think it is.
Correct. That is correct. Did it before F1 did it, huh?
Yeah, and to think about the torque and like to go from managing gears and everything to be like, I'm gonna do the same thing in an electric vehicle is just absolutely insane.
It's worlds apart. The torque delivery, there's no differential. You know, the everything is just completely different.
Exactly. He's managing basically everything with his right foot. It's just all throttle.
Yes, unfortunately, Ken Block died earlier this year. In a snowmobile accident. Terrible stuff.
Man gave him like amazing things to the world of motorsport, amazing videos, basically created his entire genre, you know, Gymkhana basically created because of Ken Block.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a legend.
Not to say he's the Drift King. Shout out to I forget the homie's name from Initial D, but
Takumi.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's the character's name in Initial D, but Takumi is based off a real
you're
real
talking
life
about person. I used to know his name, I forgot his name. I will remember. He was in Tokyo Drift, though, the Fast and Furious movie. He did a cameo there.
Yeah. Yep, yeah, and he drove the same car he drives in Initial D. Like, Initial D is one of the if you haven't seen it, one of the best racing shows, movies there is. Like, for the engine sounds, for example, it's one of the only shows where they use the actual car like, they made the car with the same modifications and everything and used the same engine sounds for every car.
That is true.
Whereas in Fast and Furious, they're just revving engines and throwing it in.
And all in all, even if you don't like anime, but if you like cars, watch Initial D. It's great.
Absolutely. And if you don't like anime, you should, because anime is amazing.
There you go. You heard from a man who ran half the season in an Akatsuki McLaren.
Goddamn right. Goddamn. I only switched because I'm trying to build hype for these. I'm doing a 100% Mario series where we're going to do at least a one-off event where everybody runs my Mario liveries and we have like a Mario Kart event.
There you go. I love that. That being said, Murillo in chat saying put Richard on camera to jinx him. Absolutely, I will do that. I love jinxing Richard, who's actually having a really good recovery, so it will be a shame if anything bad happened to him.
Harkinet up to P12.
Which
P4 in the division.
Class. He was in P9 earlier, right?
He was way back in the class, so having a great race, Richard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was talking to Richard just the other day, and he messaged me, "Yo, sorry, snowfall for the first snowfall for the season has me insanely busy, and I live in northern Michigan." So I'm like, where do you live that you're getting the first snowfall? And then I remembered he lives in Canada.
Oh, there you go. Canadian driver Richard Harknett and Bugtato said in chat Keiichi Tsuchiya is who initial D is based off of, so thank you for the info for us. Because we both forgot.
Absolutely, yeah. He is hailed as the godfather of drift, basically invented it.
Correct. And right now, Lazama pacing a little bit quicker than Navarrete, but I don't think that the gap is enough, as he is 37 seconds behind, a whopping 37 seconds behind Navarrete, so he needs to gain a lot if he wants to have a shot at winning this.
Woo-wee, that is a bummer. It looks like, oh, Navarrete though going off into the wall just as you say that.
Oh, commentator's curse.
Turn one. Oh, this is huge. This has huge implications.
And here's your replay of the crash. Heading into turn one, just lapse of concentration there. It touches the grass and then bangs into the barrier. Oh my god, damage on the left side. And that is the worst news possible, because that's the last bit of the car you want to damage on this track.
And I've been there, you know, it's exactly like you said. It's just a quick lapse of concentration, you know. You've been doing this race for, at this point, 55 minutes. You just have one ADD thought thinking about something funny you thought of or something, and you miss your breaking point.
Perfect,
and your entire race is screwed.
I couldn't have said that better myself.
6 minutes left, so hopefully when, who is it, Turek pits, he's still got the time, but it was really close.
Oh yeah.
You know, he didn't, it was, for sure, it was close enough to where if he messed up, it might be in question. And now it is very much so.
Also, I think he got really lucky with damage. His car doesn't look too terribly banged up. We'll see how it reflects on his base. But,
yes, absolutely, but also, he got the damage on the outside left, which is like the most important part of the car.
Yeah, he's gonna be scrubbing those tires a lot now. Which, to be fair,
he goes, it looks like a little wide right there on turn one.
Yeah, it looks like he's already feeling the difference, and you know, that's definitely aero damage. It's an aero car. Bugtato said it's just a flash wound, he will be fine. I think so too, but as commentators,
also,
we need to keep the race interesting. So,
yes, we got to build the hype. We got to build the hype.
That being said, though, Turek currently ahead of Mariage. Mariage fought real hard, but after that one mistake earlier on in the race, things have just unfolded, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. That being said, as we approach the final 5 minutes, I want to ask you this before we start commentating about it, about the race. Are you going to be playing WRC? And why is your answer yes?
Absolutely. I loved Dirt Rally 2. I thought it was amazing. I've been waiting for a next-gen rally game. Obviously, I have hesitancy because Codemasters has been bought by EA. But so far, the reviews have been amazing. It has, you know, great reviews. Truthfully, I want to talk to Richard about hopefully getting a WRC League made. I think that would be a lot of fun. Absolutely.
Oh, if they make it, I'm in. You know what? We should
But,
have the chat. We should have the chat.
No, absolutely. I think it would be a lot of fun. I certainly think even the most basic of ACC driver, like again, like I say, I'm just able to catch, like anytime I start slipping, I automatically catch it. I think there's a lot of benefits to be gained from doing rally racing.
Rally, yeah.
And I just think it's a completely different format. I think it would be fun. But whether we did, what's the one where they actually it's like cross something where they're actually all out on track versus where
Rally
they're
cross?
doing stage time. Yeah, rally cross versus where they're doing actual time stages. I think it would be a blast.
Absolutely, I agree. And you know what did it for me? You know what made me say, okay, shut up and take my money?
What is that?
Jimmy Broadbent flat out said buy it.
Okay.
If it's good, my logic was if it's good enough for Broadbent, it's good enough for me.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
He flat out said buy it. As we see Navarrete coming into his pit stop. And
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment we have all been waiting for. How far ahead or behind is Navarrete going to pull out? I believe it's going to be ahead. I believe it's going to be by at least 5 seconds despite his mess up, but we'll see.
Oh, I think so. Unless he left fixed damage ticked on, then he messed up.
It looks like he just took no damage, just fuel.
Yeah, and here comes Lozama around the final corner. So it's not even close. Really.
Nope.
But you got it pretty damn close. 4.5 seconds. 4.6.
That's certainly close enough for if Navarrete has another lapse in judgment or memory, Lozama's right there.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is your prediction. You predicted 5 seconds. It's 4.5.
Oh,
so.
damn. Hell yeah. I was just 100% estimating, too. I have no information.
You got that pretty well. That's really surprising. That being said, late stages of the season. Well, yeah, season. I was gonna say race, but I just thought of the fact that these are the final 2 minutes of the season, and these are my final 2 minutes as commentator. I'll get into finishing thoughts after the checkered. But go on.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. But then again, we have Sloan, Mariage, and Gobbler all right behind each other. So there's definitely going to be some good battles there as we come into the final couple laps. Someone's going to send one trying to make it up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So still everything to play off. Don't take your eyes off of the screen because we've got just a minute to go here. And 3/10 between Mariage and Gobbler. Mariage looking to defend. Of course, P2 in the standings has slipped away from his hands this race. And that is not in discredit of Mariage, but in credit of this man right here, Justin Turek, who we didn't watch too much this race, but he has been on a mission. Has been absolutely climbing, hasn't he?
Oh, no, he absolutely has. And, that's the one great thing about racing is as he makes a great move on the inside of Connolly there, he still could overshoot a corner and ruin his race. So it's he's made a great recovery race, but it could still all be unfolded, and that's the one thing that keeps you watching a race, right? Is
exactly. And talk about overshooting a corner. Last lap of the race, but Mariage has had a bad exit out of turn 1, which has invited Gobbler to the rear of him. The gap was down to a 10th only a few seconds ago, but now it's down to it's up to 3/10, which is still absolutely nothing in terms of GT racing. Looks like Gobbler prioritized a better exit. Can he do anything here on the dying stages of the race and of the season? We are not going to look because we're going to be looking at the leader, Mr. Navarrete, which for the final time this season will be going around the penultimate corner, and now he's going around the final corner. I don't know the corner numbers, but there he comes. He threw down the gauntlet and is sending a message to the entirety of the competition because Navarrete, for the first time this season, comes across the line to win in Odyssey in the final race of the season. Round 9, Brands Hatch, there he is, flashing lights. Lozawa started the season as reigning champion, won the first race, has absolutely had to leave due to personal issues, and he's now come back, finished P2 on his comeback race, so that's pretty good. And it shows also the strength of the field. Turek in P3, Sloan, P4, Mariage, P5, Gobbler, P6, Rodriguez about to come into the line to win in silver. So P1 for Rodriguez, and P7 for Dean Solomon in the back row GT Racing Audi. So Solomon secured a pretty good position in the championship, I'm pretty sure, like P4, P5 or something like that. That being said, I'm gonna let Nate give his finishing thoughts here, and go on, Nate.
I mean, looking at the leaderboard, I mean, again, like we said, it was going to be a good race. There was a good mix of pros and silvers. We were looking at it like, hey, might there be a switch up? I mean, if you look at it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 of them in the bottom 10. So 4 pros in the bottom 10. So expect a switch up next year. That'll be pretty fun to watch.
And of course, expect call-ups. You know, you have stories like of Rodriguez, who is absolutely in the mix, and a lot of these guys as well. Castells, Derek. I mean, champion in silver. I think you would expect the champion to be called up, right?
Oh no, absolutely. And you gotta expect. Honestly, I mean, Navarrete, he's already in pro, but he joined, I believe, halfway through the season.
True.
And since then has been like basically top 3 every week. So look for Navarrete next season as well to be a contender, possibly even a winner.
Yeah, there you go. With that being said, I don't think we're handling any interviews tonight, but I wanted to say thank you, Nate, for joining me tonight. I'll call them fans, have carried the chat pretty much the whole season, not in disrespect to the rest of the chat, of course, but they've been real. They've kept me a lot of company, and I do appreciate it. And
Oh, they'll be here next season.
That's lovely
and
to
hopefully
see.
I can get more.
To hear. And it's been great also commentating you and seeing you develop throughout the season, and I hope you can. I wish you all the best for the next season, and hope you can come back real strong. And of course, my DMs are open if you need anything. More than willing to help. That being said, on a more
Absolutely.
personal note, I did this. I decided to take a back seat from racing and just sit here commentating because I wanted to help this league grow. Felt like giving back after winning a title. I felt like that was the next thing to do, and I feel refreshed. I feel absolutely ready to race. And I know I haven't been the best commentator, haven't been the best staff member, but I genuinely do care. And I'd like to say thank you to all the staff, Neil, Tyler. I shouldn't have named names because now I need to name everyone. But dear also Richard, God damn it, why did I do that? I'm terrible with names, but yeah. Everyone
God, don't mention Durasso. Durasso doesn't deserve a mention.
Everyone this whole season who has made, things work, who has worked hard, every single driver who drove a lap, every single person who sent a message in chat, thank you. Thank you. It has been amazing. I've enjoyed myself a lot. We've had many amazing races this season, and here's to many more seasons. Like I said, next season I will be behind the wheel of the car probably. So if you see a Lamborghini either with the number 21 or with the number 5, that'll be me. And my last time commentating probably for a long time, maybe ever. And Dank Tank, Potato, to the two of you, Dank Tank, you helped me when I was sick. Potato, you've been here the whole season. Dank Tank, you have been here too. Thank you guys. Everyone who sent messages in chat. And Dank Tank saying in chat, yeah, 2024, Felipe and Nate number 1. So there you go.
Absolutely, Felipe. I just want to say a massive thank you to you for doing this. And whoever is doing the commentating next season, I mean, it just makes it so fun to rewatch. Like being a driver, being able to rewatch a race and have commentary on it is huge. But also, I think it makes it like so much more fun for the spectators. And I can tell you for a fact, the spectators love you.
That's lovely to hear.
We look forward to watching your race next season. I won't be commentating the America race, but I will be commentating the EU race, and I absolutely look forward to, though you'll probably be way faster than me, racing against you next season.
I'm hoping to be competing at the top end of pro, hopefully.
And that's exactly where I'd expect you to be, being the current EU champion.
But that being said, yeah, I'll let you wrap this one up. But for the last time, for the last time, I've been Felipe Silveira. I'm honored to have you guys here with me for a little bit of time of your day. And take it away, Nate.
All right, guys. Thank you for spectating. What are we, season 8 of ORL? We'll be looking forward to seeing you season 9. Please, anybody you think would have fun, spread the word. We'd love to have you in here. And yeah, we'll see you for a great season 9. It's going to be even better than season 8. Be on the lookout. It's going to start in 2 weeks.
It's been a real honor, and thanks, Nate, once again for joining me tonight in the booth. Great commentating, man. I think I don't know if this is your first time, but you did amazing. That was great.
It is my first time. Thank you, Felipe. It means a lot.
If you need company in some of the EU races when you're commentating, hit me up. That being said, good night, chat. See you guys again very, very soon. Bye-bye.